Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the North American ESL Pro League. We're live with the final night of action here for week number 1. Final match. It's going to be a good one. Team Liquid versus Luminosity Gaming. My name is Blue. Joining me here this evening is Moses, and we'll be going live with the first map here in just a few moments. Actually, right now.
Nice timing. Yeah,
thanks, man.
It definitely could be a good one. Yeah, we saw Liquid play last night. Looked a little bit lackluster at times. A little bit worrying. Simple really stepped things up on that Dust 2 map to kind of carry them through it, but they did drop the first one really heavy on Cash, of course, which is their preferred map. So it was really interesting to see them get dominated on it. But yeah, also LG, I mean, the big story with them, obviously, is that the past year for them has been insane, rising up to like a top 4 team in the world. They've just been playing so well lately. So we'll have to see if Liquid has made some adjustments from last night, how they're going to be using Simple differently tonight, in trying to overcome these guys.
All right, well, we go live with it, and Liquid's going to get their start over here on the CT side, whereas Luminosity Gaming are going to be jumping onto the Terrorist side. Let's get to it, guys. The maps as well, by the way, for these two matches are going to be the same as the previous one. We're playing them in reverse order. Obviously, as you can already see, first map will be played here on Overpass, whereas the second map, I believe we're going to hop back over towards Cobblestone for that one, and that will be taking place an hour from now, as soon as this one concludes. Anyway, let's get started with the pistol round, and for LG, most of their players heading back over here towards the water fountain, but Simple is going to get aggressive, peeks it, but it's a very brief one. He falls directly back after getting the intel he needs, and they already know a lot of what Luminosity is doing due to this.
Yeah, especially seeing the bomb and everything like that, so good spot from him. He also gets away, doesn't take too much damage whatsoever. Hiko is pulling over towards this B bomb site. He's got a P250. He's also got a smoke and a flash, so he can delay something if he ever feels too much pressure, but look at how aggressive they're going to get on Taco. He's just behind the barrel. Eats a little bit of damage, but not too bad. Meanwhile, his team encroaches on this A site. Simple's in a tough spot. There's not a whole lot of cover, so he looks like he wanted to consider falling all the way back into the site. But here, if he gets pressured from long at all, which it's not going to happen, there's no one from Luminosity here, but trying to escape any kind of attack is going to leave him without any cover to work with.
But LG is still taking it very nice and very slowly. So they line up the smoke to roll into the site. The only smoke they've got. Taco also has a molly, but that's probably going to be his post plant here as they throw it in, but it doesn't actually look like they're moving into the site. Now, there we go. Now they're pushing in as the smoke covers it. Blind fire coming in for both sides of it, but Simple connecting one through the smoke, able to take down FNX. And now Fur shutting up another one. As Nitro actually peeking back out. He picks up 2 for himself. Fur and Cold both end up going down, and for Fallen, tries to trade it back, picks up Nitro, down to a 3-on-2 now, but with 30 seconds left. They don't actually have enough time, nor do they even have the bomb to fall back and retreat away from this one. They've got to try and push back in, but the odds are very heavily stacked against them now that the initial push has failed.
Yeah, this is where you need Liquid to play this very smart. Don't go for too many peeks. Don't commit to any fights until they're in the bomb site. They have to plant. There's 10 seconds left. This should be impossible for LG to win. Nice crossfire set up by the defense. Dren gets that kill. He's going to get the last one as well on a Fallen. So a nice pistol round. They have a stone-cold defense there in that A bomb site. They shut Luminosity down during the execute. So 1-0 for Team Liquid.
And that all starts off there, too, with Simple with that aggressive push back over there towards the water fountain at the beginning of the round. Gets that intel and allows for Liquid to put a lot more of their assets back over towards that A bomb site. So a good hold from those guys. LG, unfortunately, try to move into the site way too slowly, and the 2 remaining players are held too far back. So they're left in a very awkward exchange towards the end of the round, and they're shut down very slowly by Team Liquid. And now we see the immediate investment coming actually pretty heavy on the SMGs, to be completely honest. Normally see the 3 rifles or 1 P90 thrown into the mix, but they're just going all in on 3 SMGs, whereas Adren and Simple are going to be the ones to pick up the rifles. But they hold back. No crazy aggression, with the exception of Simple moving out towards long A to investigate things. And for Luminosity, their players are actually sitting back. They've gone for the full investment too, at least as far as they can. Tech9s and Fallen picks up the scout to try and work something with that.
A little bit dangerous. Hiko actually misses a smoke, and that allows Fallen to get a shot off with the scout. Doesn't tag him, but could have been a tough situation. But now he can't really re-peek. He's got to be very cautious about it. All of LG grouped up over towards this B bomb site. 2 at doors and 2 towards the short sewer exit. They go for the jumping shot. Nitro even takes some damage. Drops an A, though. That's going to do some work on Taco. Softens him up just a little bit, but still, LG hasn't committed to this bomb site quite yet. The bomb is still close back towards Terra spawn with over a minute left. They're forcing a lot of utility to be used on the Liquid side. So they're just kind of grinding that down before they decide to execute towards the end.
Somehow has not been tagged through the panel as of yet. They brought Taco down extremely low. But for 13 HP was literally sitting next to the sprayable spot, but Leech still not able to connect. There we go. Finally connects it after a second jump, allows it to pick it up. But FNX responds, coming in through Monster. Hiko's left out in the open, so they eliminate him. Now Nitro picking up an additional kill, but Leech still sitting down inside of the pit. Takes down Taco. Dread coming in to save the day up towards Heaven. After finally exchanging quite a few blows here, it's just Fallen left alive with that scout. 15 seconds on the clock, and Elige spraying from long range there with the UMP. Eliminates Fallen and picks up the second round for Liquid.
Yeah, nice job from Team Liquid, not committing to any fights. When Luminosity initially puts pressure on there, they just do some damage, and they're not afraid to just outlast them in that bomb site. So eventually, the tools that Luminosity has runs thin as the health decreases, and now there's no buy whatsoever on their side. So Liquid's still able to keep, you know, a couple SMGs alive. Hiko's only on a Tech 9 just because he fell last round, saving up some money. Look at this push from Simple. He's got them all blind. A brilliant pop flash. They're just going to spray them all down. They line up. Simple with 3 kills and Dren with the remaining 2. Nicely done. No one falls for Liquid there.
Literally no regrets at all from Simple in that play either. No hesitation and maybe thinking about falling back. He just sticks it, wants to push directly in towards that, so shuts it all down. Luminosity don't even get a chance to do anything in that round. They're completely blindsided right within the first couple of seconds of it. But now we go into the first gun round, and it's a big investment from Luminosity. No op to be spotted just as of yet. Don't necessarily have the money to go for it, as you can see by them being pretty light on the utility side. But full AKs with the armor. Now we'll see what they'll have to play up against. The Nitro has actually chosen to stick with his SMG as well, so he'll be playing with that for at least this round.
Simple with the op, just holding an angle for someone to come outdoor. Occasionally swinging out a little bit wide to peek towards the stairs. Pop Flash is going to force Fur and Cold back. Simple still allowed to just kind of test both of these sides, and actually they get out. He's going to swing a little bit wider. He's not going to check all the way, though, and he might just fall back. He's mollied. He's burned out to 60, so he's actually fortunate to get away there. Taking some damage. Nicely done from LG. Push back the aggression in bathrooms. Now they have control, and they have a little bit of room to work with towards this A bomb site.
And Simple hoping that someone's going to try to look for a peek over on top of that flower box towards long A. LG still definitely heavily leaning towards the A push, so it's likely we would see someone go for this, and picking up another early kill here would be a big boon to the members of Team Liquid, considering they're pretty far spread out right now, and that rotation is going to take a while. When they do commit 3 more, possibly 4 in a second, heading over here towards lower A, still definitely looking for it, and for the majority of Liquid, you can see they still think it's coming in towards this B bomb site. Just now is Elise starting to fall back a little bit, potentially to rotate up towards that A bomb site. However, LG as well, as they've known to, they're playing very slow, very tactically now. They want to set something up on this A bomb site, and now it rolls in. Adren's going to toss out the corresponding molly to hold him back, but it's not going to do the job, and Adren's out for far too long, so he's dropped to 47 HP now as well. Simple. Shut down by Fur as he pushes back in through long A, and now Luminosity have exactly what they need. They're pushing into the site. The bomb is going down. They haven't actually cleared it out as of yet, so this is a bit dangerous if the retake potential comes back in, but it's on their side of it. Hiko picking up a first kill, shutting down FNX. Adren still not able to find anything as they've just cleared out. Now they're going to hide back over here in the bathrooms as they've got the perfect plant position.
This is a really well put together round from LG. Now it's all on this retake. The flash from Nitro misses. He's got one close to his left as well. Cole just hiding. He is spotted out. The up is going to do its work, but Fallen and Fur combined for 2 kills. And now this is just impossible for Nitro. Last one left. He gets another kill. So doing a little bit of damage. Going to chase one down, but he knows the defuse is impossible. Just going for the kill. He dinks Fallen, but can't find it. Taco is the insurance policy, just not being aggressive whatsoever. And Luminosity, that was... Actually, I think Taco might have just crashed as we see this pause come out at 3-1. But, I mean, that round from Luminosity, first of all, they push back Simple in bathrooms. Not only do they push back the aggression, it denies so much information. You could see Simple was actively peeking throughout that round with the AWP, and he had no intel of what was coming, except for one player towards long. So you could see Liquid couldn't cheat over a rotate or anything of that sort. Now, they do have plenty of money this round. They drop an op over to Simple again. A couple players kept SMGs into that round, so they don't lose necessarily too much. Nitro might be on a low buy. It's all up to see if... Yeah, Simple's going to drop a FAMAS over to him and just to pick up light armor. But 3-1 now. 2 members of LG actually dropped.
Not just the fact that they couldn't actually, Simple specifically couldn't really spot what was going on back over towards long A either, but just the fact of how held back that was. No one exposing themselves in the short A push, no one exposing themselves in the bathroom push. LG waited to the last possible moment to actually go into that site. Perfect smoke lineup for those guys to get them onto the site itself. And Liquid, they still even have like 2 players on the site when the plant's going on. They just place it down. And on a map like Train, say, if you're going for the outside yard there, it may not work as well simply because the CT still hold good positions. But if you have that smoke wall lined up and you get the plant on the T side of it, of those big boxes over there, you can just fall back into the bathrooms and do exactly what LG did. And that forces Liquid to go for the push, and then the T's hold the advantage because they're the ones playing defense.
A lot of it came down that positioning that Simple had right under that sign between Long and the staircase. I mean, that's what he did on pistol round as well. I was talking about it. It's there's no cover. It's so hard to fall back. It's basically hit your shots or die, and he missed one when he swung out wide. So that's what killed him. And then with that smoke wall, I mean, they combined it with some nice spam because the only option for Liquid in that spot is to spam through the smoke, try and get a little bit lucky on the planter. But Fur was spamming through the smoke right onto the Optimus truck. So Adren actually takes a lot of damage behind a smoke before he can even do anything. So really nicely done throughout the entire round from LG. Still not unpaused. Might be asking for a match medic, I would assume, to give them their guns back.
I think one player lost, according to what we're seeing in the chat now, one player lost his armor or something. So, might be medicing. But, we'll wait on confirmation on that from our admins. Unfortunately, like we had on Tuesday, these types of pauses keep happening like super early in the game. So now we have very little to talk about. And this sucks. Because now we have to sit here awkwardly.
Well, here's one thing we can mention about Liquid is they have plenty of money into this round. So even with that drop of the FAMAS, Liquid or Simple's the only one who's really hurting on nades, and that's because they kept those SMGs into that round. So I mean that's also part of it. Maybe if they have those M4s, that retake is a little bit more doable, but because they kept the SMGs, the weapons are just a little bit tough and unwieldy to deal with when you have to get aggressive towards an LG that's playing the post plant really well. So we can also mention too. This is a map that Liquid likes. This is a map that they've challenged and beaten Virtus Pro on towards the end of last year. Not this current visage of Virtus Pro that we're seeing. That's a little bit in a little bit of a slump that we've seen from Leipzig and now extending into Pro League, where they actually started the season off 0-4. Lost both their matches yesterday to FaZe, lost both their matches today to Fnatic, so they've got a rough start going to Virtus Pro.
We can talk about this as well, since our admin was yelling at us to mention it again, that these maps are actually decided through a veto process. So there's
You've caved. You caved, Blue.
I just don't have anything else to bring up at this point, to be honest. You already mentioned a point twice. You mentioned the fact they have a lot of money. That's the second time you mentioned that now. So I'm trying not to repeat things.
Ah, I got
There we go. Trying to keep it varied. Anyway, well, yes, these maps are decided via veto process now. It's no longer. How were we doing it the previous 2 seasons? Was it? I think it was just random, wasn't it? Like up to a certain point to where you would play so many maps per seasons.
The last few seasons, it was just decided based on week to week. So this year they incorporated a little bit of a veto process into it. But we are getting word now that we're going to take a quick break because this is going to take a little bit of extended time to figure out. So we're going to send it off to break. We're going to let DJ do some dancing because he's really excited to do that stuff for you. And then we'll come back with an updated situation when we have more info.
Hey, welcome back. I wasn't prepared for that. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The score on the screen is not right. We have not changed the round, so I think it was 3-1, right, for the Liquid?
Yeah, it's gonna update after the next
Oh,
round.
yeah, just making sure people that see the OO don't freak out. It is currently 3-1. The rounds will fix themselves once we go into the next one, but I believe this is correct. We are live once again here in a gun round. Team Liquid versus Luminosity.
Yeah, and a very similar start. This time simple with the AWP is in the stairwell. He hasn't noticed anything towards underpass, so he's trying to find some of the information. But basically, LG's Taco's over towards the B bomb site with 4 members of LG right by playground and fountain, and they're gonna slowly encroach upon bathrooms. And once again, about a minute left, and they're gonna smoke this off, trying to neutralize Simple if he's there, but it's not gonna matter. He's changed his spot. He's got 1 kill. Fallen trades him off. The repeat from Simple gets punished, so it's down to a 4-on-4. And actually, this is now when Taco's choosing to be aggressive. He's going to try and find a one-on-one on this B bomb site.
Her also going back down through connector now, trying to see if he can find anyone there from the side of Team Liquid. Hiko is going to be pretty far away from that one, watching out for a push to come out through construction. Nitro sitting in pit the same way. The majority of Liquid just spread out nice and even, so regardless of where Luminosity head towards, probably going to be meeting the same odds, but they're condensing their players back over. Taco, as you can already see, push through Monster. The flash comes in. Taco's still going to press forward, though. He doesn't care. He's rolling right up onto this side anyway. He doesn't see any immediate threats. Checking down, spots the player in pit. They haven't spotted that guy back over there towards the CT Cubby as they got the Taco spraying right through, shuts out Nitro. He will be traded at FNX, trying to get to a safe spot. Not going to happen, but Fallen trades out for Hiko, takes him down, and now we're locked into a 2-on-2.
2 smokes to use for the Team Liquid players, though, so they have a lot of options in this retake. And both members of Luminosity are over towards Catwalk, so 1 smoke goes out towards Cat, 1 smoke goes out on the bomb. Look at this, they're spraying through it, but Elish gets that kill onto Fur. Now he can get on the bomb. He does have a kit, but now the op's going to work through 2 smokes. So now it's Adren's turn, and he's just going to tap it, wait for Fallen to jump through. And he's going to not get that kill. He misses it. Fallen's going to win that with a 4 kill on the round. That's incredible, but that should have been a kill for Adren. Now we're going to see a pause come in just to get the coaches back on the server. But that round from Liquid should have been theirs. Fallen hits that incredible shot through 2 smokes, though, by the way. That's something you can't count on too often.
We were also told, I don't think this happened, though. Maybe. Someone in our chat said Nitro lagged out this time as well. So that might also explain the pause, because, of course, these servers are on like a 2-minute delay.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Still moving around, so no big deal there. I know that the coaches with Match Medic, it screws things up just a little bit, so they can't join initially. They have to wait for a round to be played out.
But it looks like they just got James in the game, at least. So if that was the player they were missing. Zeus also just joined up too, so I think we should be set to go. But beyond this, of course, now we see Luminosity, a huge clutch from Fallen. And the odds for Liquid, unfortunately, go down pretty heavily. As you take a look at the money, they're sort of on that edge right now where they could go for a force, but the majority of players wouldn't really be in too good of a position, so more than likely just going to be forced into ecoing now.
The best part about that first kill from Fallen onto Elish is that he actually tapped the bomb and got off of it. If he had stuck it, he wouldn't have walked into the crosshair. But, I mean, regardless, just an incredible clutch. A really good round, too. When he was... When they were taking that bomb site, you could see Hiko was far back, and he wasn't peeking whatsoever, and it was good that he didn't, because Fallen was just staying right back against the wall next to Monster and just waiting for Hiko to peek. If Hiko had peeked earlier, he would have been taken out, so he just bided his time patiently and found 1 kill before getting dropped by Fallen anyways. But without that kill, wouldn't have been as close of a round.
Liquid pushed quite a few of their players up inside of the bathrooms this time. Luminosity actually well aware of this being a possibility. You can see they're keeping their eyes on this, expecting someone to peek out to try and get some information. With Cold watching out for a push to come out over here towards, and uh-oh. I think we just lost our Go TV.
Yeah, why not?
A
few more issues going on. We're going to retry and see if that's maybe just a small error, but it's not. So I think what we're going to end up doing is going right back to break while this gets figured out. And yeah, once again, we'll come back when we have a little bit more information.
All right, we're back. Currently in the 7th round. Score is tied at 3-3. I believe this is around the same point in time. So anyway, looks like LG has a pretty good grasp on this round. 10 seconds left. A little bit late to get that defused, but in a 2 versus 4 here, along with Liquid being a little bit late on the rotation, he's just probably going to be one of the last hopes to get back in here. Tries to do that pop flash. He awkwardly kind of jumped out of the smoke, so they spot him early, but it doesn't matter, as he picks up that first kill in a cold anyway. Fur quick enough on the response to eliminate him. Nitro's the last man alive. He's down at 9 HP, holding his own angle there, able to take down Fur at the very least as he runs back away, but now he's pinholed here, and there's a good shot from Fallen to close it out, because LG will pick up the round.
Yeah, 4-3 there. So I mean, we didn't really get to see too much, but for whatever reason, I mean, Luminosity got into that bomb site very, very quickly and efficiently. Only losing one player, planning in a 4-on-2. So looks like this T side is starting out really, really well for them. Although, I mean, they have taken some decent damage. You can see the money for having... It looks like they've won 3 rounds straight. It really isn't that strong. There's not really too much built up behind Luminosity. So if Liquid can get some kills into this round, find a way to keep that money low, get 2 or 3, and then in the next buy round they win, they can really be the Luminosity on the verge of being broken. Double stack at the stairs, gets broken up by Fur, he grabs both kills, so that dream of getting 2 to 3 kills here is looking very unlikely.
Taco also picked up an additional frag elsewhere, so now it's just down to Hiko and Simple. Both are pretty spread out. Simple got the Deagle, trying to connect something on a Taco, but not going to be able to connect it. Hiko lurking around, hoping to maybe catch him off guard, but again, the dream will be dead. As Taco shuts him down, they spotted Fallen at least, but at the same time, Fallen spotted Simple. He's out in the open here. Someone just has to grow the balls to push him out, and it's going to be Phoenix that takes the duel. He takes him out of the equation, and another round goes by the way of Luminosity, as now they've got a good lead going for themselves, up to a 2-round lead. And for Team Liquid, they've got enough cash, so we'll be seeing another buy round from them here.
Yeah, and this is much the same situation that CLG is in. Liquid really has to get something going here, start stringing rounds together, start building up their own money. Luminosity already at 5 rounds with 7 left to play in this half. It's a bit of a scary spot, especially if they're to win here and force another save out of the Liquid side. So Simple's going to push up one more time. He's currently over at Picnic. There's only one member here. It's just Cold, and he's watching for a push, but he doesn't really see too much. He's going to fall back immediately, so slowly they're going to come into this B bomb site, trying to go through the smoke a little bit too early as Taco. He drops. Nitro's there for the trade, but now he's the last one left. Pop Flash is going to keep falling at bay, but a re-peek punishes him. And there's no support here in this 3-on-3 at the B bomb site.
The Elige taking a duel back down inside of Connector, is able to eliminate Cold, but there's another one that happens just outside of the doorway. Elige, absolutely crazy right now, but then Fallen comes in, takes out a supporting teammate. Simple, falling to the ground. However, now it's just Fallen as the final man alive, rounding around this corner, trying to connect the shot onto a Dread, and he grabs it. A point-blank shot, eliminating him. Now a minute left. Fallen still with plenty of time to play this one out. A decent amount of utility as well. But Elige not going to take any chance on a direct confrontation. He's going to roll all the way back through Connector and try to beat him to the punch today, and he might just do so as Fallen is still expecting him to come out for the peak.
Well, Fallen's got a minute to play with here. This is where the experience of Fallen is really, really going to shine. He knows how much time he has. He knows that Elige is just kind of guessing of where he's going to be. Fallen actually trades out the AWP, goes right back for the B bomb site, so he's going to get this plant, but Elige reads it pretty well. He's already at the doorway. So the question next is, Fallen's going to come right at him. Is he expecting this? He sees him, doesn't commit to that. Nicely done. He falls away. Flashbang is going to delay Elige's retake. Fallen's still staying very aggressive, though. It actually swings out. He dinks him, but he can't get the kill. Elige with a 3 kill in the round is brought down to 2 HP. But he is going to win it. Now he's going to go try and salvage an AWP, I would assume.
Yep. So falling back over it, there's one on the ground just outside of the Connector doorway. So easily able to pick that up and surviving the round with 2 HP. Plenty of time left with the kit. Liquid strike right back, and the game will remain very, very close. 4-5 here. Luminosity, though, my scoreboard isn't working, so I can't actually see, but I'm pretty sure Luminosity should still have enough money to buy through this next round.
Yeah, they have plenty with that plant. It's going to start, like I said, it's going to start getting whittled down. Fallen's brought down to $0. Cold's at 200. The rest of them are sitting pretty nice, though. So they do buy up, but, I mean, that comes down to just Elige. So you can see Nitro can't afford any nades that round. They have 2 kits. Even Hiko's a little bit light on the nades that he could use. So Liquid's got to string these together here. A reset here would be so incredibly harsh. So Simple, he's going to get forced back with a nice pop flash. He's been pretty aggressive in the few rounds we've seen of this half so far. So that pop flash probably just going to start coming out consistently to make sure he can't get an early pick.
Now that pressure back over here towards long A. We're going to see Fur along with Fallen press themselves towards it in a moment. Elige holding back, waiting to see if there's going to be a pop flash, but Dren just looking right towards it here. He's got to get that communication out very, very quickly. And also Simple taking a very risky position just outside of the bathrooms too, trying to hold these players back, prevent them from even getting on the site to begin with, but Fallen picking up again another very impressive opening shot. The T's trying to wrap around, but they haven't actually spotted a Dren. That doesn't matter though, because Fallen taking these duels like an absolute champion, shuts him down as well, and now they've got control of the entire area.
Adren was pretty much dead no matter what. He had two members wrapping around behind him. That would be Cold and FNX. Simple there with a nice shot onto Fur. Drops him, but meanwhile the rotation has come fully into this A site from Hiko and Nitro. No one's over at B. That's exactly where Luminosity is running. So much map control of bathrooms and stairwell, they're able to completely outmaneuver the defense, and this might actually just be a straight-up save call once Liquid realizes what's happening.
Moving into the site, as you've already mentioned, there's no one here from Liquid. Hiko, he's going to get smoked out, so not really able to do all that much from that current position, hoping to get the spray down on any players that were coming in through construction, but there's no one there. They're actually still fairly slow on LG's side of this, getting onto the site, but Fallen, again, picking up an additional frag now, waiting for these players to actually do that boost. Completely fails, so they lose another one of their players here. Finally, Fallen gets dropped by Nitro. Tries to get up a little bit too close, and Nitro is waiting for that exact peak. So it takes him down. As you were mentioning before, there's not a whole lot these remaining players can do. They're actually still here, still trying to fight for a way back into this site, but Taco taking down one of them, Hiko finding the trade. That's going to be it, though, as FNX able to come back out, round up the final player from Liquid, and pick up yet another round for LG.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is going to be a pause out of Liquid more than likely, but I mean, it's LG is one of those teams where you're not going to win too many rounds with a man disadvantage against them. They're so good at ensuring that they close out those rounds and don't make any mistakes, especially in post-plant situations. Maybe one of the best teams in the world at post-plant situations. So it's super difficult to try and win those rounds, especially when you're coming over so incredibly late, when you're retaking from so far back with everything smoked off. I think Liquid just went for it just based off the fact that it's just so crippling that they got reset at this stage in the half. And that was really their only hopes and dreams. But now you're going to see an anti-eco out of LG, Fur and Taco picking up SMGs. I mean, this might even be a double save out of Liquid. Simple and Elish have decent money, but 3 members sitting right around $1,500, that's going to be crushing.
They've got to build themselves up from ground zero, essentially, so there's nothing left here for Liquid to try and work with. It's the same story as to what we had happen in some of those previous rounds, or the previous matchups, as you say, where Cloud9 was taking on CLG. CLG, there's one point in their half, I think it was on this map too, where they were able to pick up at least one round, but it ended up hurting them more than it helps them just because of the fact that they get reset, and now they have to build that economy up again. The inconsistency becomes the biggest problem for these teams, and now Luminosity is going to be able to gain a very large lead off of this, assuming we don't see a miracle round from Team Liquid.
Yeah, the tough part, too, is Fallen's at a level right now. I mean, just recently he's been playing at this insane level, but even in this match, you can see some of the shots he's hitting with this AWP are insane. That entry, I mean, actually, I guess I don't know if I'd call it an entry, but that shot onto Simple, who was boosted up over the wall when LG was taking the bomb site, that was such a sick shot. It's such a small pixel to aim for, and Fallen nails it. So, I mean, there's certain things that it's just like, what are you going to do when a guy's hitting that kind of shot? When he's going to get a 1-on-2 clutch through 2 smokes to work with. So, Fallen's just being a monster right now for LG.
So still just waiting for the unpause to come out. As far as we're aware, this is still a tactical pause from Liquid. So we're just waiting for them to unpause it, and then we'll get back to the game. But as far as this round will be going, it's pretty straightforward. As we've already mentioned a couple of times now, Liquid, no way they even have enough money to try for a force here. It would be an all-in attempt, and it would be a very desperate one at that. But just as I say that, a rifle is bought and tossed over to Simple, so maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe they're at that level of desperation. Maybe they just drop it over. Oh god, no, this is a full buy into the round. So Simple's gonna have the M4. Deagle on a Dread, Nitro has the 5.7, Deagle on a Liege as well. Liege has no armor, and Hiko has a 5.7 with no armor. So this is one of the sketchiest of force buys that I've ever seen. And Simple's going to be aggressive. And here's the thing too, he's going to go down these stairs. If he loses this gun...
He has no support behind him to pick it back up.
Oh, they're on the other side of the... Yeah, no, he has got nothing. He's got absolutely nothing. Yeah, if he drops this weapon to Cold here, then look at the investment. Look at the hopes and dreams of this round is just gone.
So Simple's actually going to fall back away now. So if this works, this could be amazing, because if the... Is that a triple stack? Yeah, that's a triple stack over here in the CT Covey. If that works, and they could have had Simple try to bait a couple players to follow him outside, that would have been incredible. However, it does not look like it is working at all. And in fact, you've already got 2 players pushing out of the bomb site.
Yeah, and Simple gets dropped by the MAC-10 of Fur, who barely takes any damage. So Nothing comes from that buy of the M4. Now it's just up to see if these Deagles and 5.7s can do anything. They don't even have a foothold to retake into this. They're just going to basically have to run through smokes.
And here we go, the flash, I believe, coming in from Nitro now. FNX already picking up one of the kills onto Elise. The pop flash, even just as the smoke fades too, so I don't imagine this going very well at all. The timing probably could not have been worse. Fur, 2 headshots in a row. Hiko at least finding one from the bank. Fur rolling back in, finds yet another headshot to close out the round. Luminosity lose only one of their players. So for a full investment on Liquid, that was probably the worst possible outcome they could have imagined.
Yeah, especially because Taco salvaged the M4, so now he doesn't have to spend money on an AK into this round. Switching over to a double op setup now on the T side for Luminosity. It's going to be FNX and Fallen. Actually, no, FNX passes that op over towards Cold. But a huge lead for Luminosity now, as definitely Liquid's going to save this round. No real investment. They do upgrade some pistols, but no armor, no nades with which to work. So tough spot for the defense to be in.
And now from Liquid is going to have nothing left to try and hold back the members of Luminosity. They can just waltz right through this round. Molly's already being tossed to try and throw some players out of positions here. It's going to put Liquid along with his teammate sitting in this area, but Nitro actually with a pretty nice shot manages to take down Fallen and recover an op as he completely outreached. So there's at least one free gun. Without any armor or anything sitting behind it, still doesn't put much hope into the ways of this team as of yet, unless he can go absolutely crazy with this gun. They've already moved themselves onto the A-bomb, so they pretty much have full control of it. All they have to do is get the bomb here. Some more guys are going to try to rotate in, but down goes that op now. And another kill as well being gained here by the guys on LG.
Yeah, much like last round, Taco just literally walked up long. Just no one was there to challenge him, so he just literally kept walking forward, take over the complete A-bomb site, and look how advanced of a position he has. He's already pushed down over towards, you know, the crow's nest, so Liquid, they try to rotate to get back in a position, thinking they have a chance to do it with that AWP. Oh, that's a nice find from Simple, though. Finds his way, maneuvers behind Taco. They get the M4. Can they get that AWP? That'd be the best find if they can just get that op and fall all the way back. They should be able to. It's right on the ground. Yep, there it is. Hiko has it. 3 guns actually salvaged, so all of a sudden that turns into a pretty decent round for Liquid, all things considered.
Simple picking up one more kill again with the rifle. Before he goes down to FNX, now the final 2. They don't even want to take the fight. Which is actually somewhat ironic now, just because of the fact that if they had decided not to fall back and save, there's actually a pretty good chance they'd probably go take it down FNX and maybe win the round. So an interesting choice made by Liquid, but with everything happening when they actually made the decision to save, it makes much more sense.
Alright, well, now's the last chance. They've got to get towards 7 in this half, because Luminosity starting to run away with things. The money still isn't that great on the LG side. They have only, I mean, they did lose a lot of players that round, so you can see FNX is down towards 0. They do have money built up, but it's only maybe 1 round's worth. So Liquid, if they can reset the economy here late in this half and get this up towards 7, that'd be fantastic. That'd be their best hope. They need some kind of a decent window into the second half to make a comeback here.
And LG is going to push all their players, with the exception of FNX, back over here towards long A. There's no resistance on it from Liquid as of yet, so they're going to pull Dren back and now to watch out in case there was a quick play towards it. But him and Elige are the main defenders here on that A-bomb site. Liquid, they're definitely expecting something to come towards B, because everybody's dug in here just now. Are they going to start rotating Simple back up towards this site? And Elige will put himself into a much safer position inside of the bank, hiding behind the APC, trying to scout for anything coming towards long A, but he hasn't. Oh, there we go. Actually baited out a shot from Fallen, so they definitely know there's going to be a presence here. I don't think they're fully aware of just how much of it's coming in through short A, though, as now they fall back, and this is that slow tactical play once again. They're going to be ready to explode outside of that smoke, I imagine, in just a few seconds.
Yeah, but Simple's just maneuvered himself into a really awkward spot. Fallen's the only one towards long, but he's already got the angle, and Simple's going to walk right into it. So Fallen just destroys him. Now here come the smokes. The wall of smokes are lining up. The Dren is blind. Some spam comes out, but LG's going to have a pretty easy entrance out of the bomb site. FNX jumping through the smoke. He takes out Hiko from behind a Dren. It does get traded off down to a 3-on-3. The bomb is not planted yet. Still 25 seconds. And Nitro looks like he wants to push this flank, but because they haven't committed to that bomb site, he's taking it a little bit cautiously.
Nitro sitting behind the players. I'll be waiting to line up the flank. Adren as well. They're actually expecting some sort of flank to come in from the T's. As you can see, Adren, he's got his eyes pierced on those lower steps there, expecting something to come down from below. But now they've got to force their way in. They've got to get this plan on the ground. Adren going for the peek. The dink down to 12 HP. But now, well, nonetheless, Elige is going to peek out. He picks up 2 kills, actually. Taco finding another one for the terrorists. But now he's in a 1 versus 2. Stuck in the back behind Semi right now. moving in, maybe to trade out for that off, but just getting himself into a safer position behind the semi. The bomb has started ticking. Now he's being pushed in upon, trying to take down Nitro, but he holds on, shuts out Taco, and puts another point on the board here for Liquid.
Yeah, Liquid holds on just barely. LG tried to do what they've been doing throughout this half, which is, you know, go a little bit silent after an initial hit, make Liquid kind of guess, try and see if they can rotate away from the actual bomb site that LG wants to hit. But because Nitro had such an advanced position at the stairs, he knew that they were just staying outside A. So, the teammates, nobody rotated because they had that kind of intel. One of the few times we've seen this half that Liquid had the right intel on what was coming, and they're able to position themselves really, really well for that retake.
Now from LG, another round where they still have pretty much... Again, my scoreboard is not working, so I can't see these totals between it, but the guys on LG still having plenty of money to work with in these situations, but look, it's simple. Trying to get aggressive in that smoke. They don't see him walking past. He's careful enough. The thing he's going to have to watch out for is the bomb carrier in Playground. If he peeks back out, he's going to be completely exposed and probably won't even expect this. He'll be shut down. Right now, he's completely in between these players, sees them all waltzing through, lining up that first shot. Needs to pay attention to Connector, though, as there's Fur coming back in. Potential disaster averted now as he picks up the easy trade. And now Elige moving in. He finding another one here for the side of Team Liquid. And so far, a pretty strong hold on the A bomb site as LG are far behind in this round.
Yeah, Fur's reconvening out towards Long, which just gets smoked off by Adren. Has an AWP, so he's using that smoke as cover for some kind of off angle towards bathrooms, towards highway. Hiko's the only one at the B bomb site, though. And Taco is looking for this one-on-one. He's trying to find it, and he's telling him that he's clear how advanced he is in this bomb site. Hiko right at the corner, he's going to win that battle. Taco can't land the shot, so now it puts the emphasis on Fur to make some kind of a play. The bomb is still not committed. At the top of the stairs, that's in Fallen's hands, and Fur has a good positioning towards the default box. If Adren gets a little over-aggressive, he's going to get picked off, but still... Oh yeah, Adren just dies. Fur just comes right around the backside. Not prepared for it. Now it's smoked off, so they're at least going to get a plant. This is a realistic win here for LG. They're in some good spots.
Holding back, waiting for them to leap through the smoke, and hoping they actually get over aggressive with this. Fur not going to get sprayed down as of yet, but Fallen taking it up close and personal. Though Elige actually surprisingly does not decide to proceed through, but Hiko gets the spray down through the wall, takes out Fur. And Fallen, already heavily injured, is going to be an easy target to take down. Elige will pick up that kill. Liquid again, another good retake. Managed to close out this round, bringing the match that much closer, up to 6-8 now, as we go into the final round of the half.
Yeah, and now this is that point where, I mean, it's the last round, so it's not going to be a huge impact, but the economy for Luminosity has finally been whittled down. You could see one AK-47 on Fur, 4 Tech 9s, though, and actually this is a pretty cool decision. I think Cold could have afforded a Tech 9, or I mean an AK or a Galil if he had wanted to, but he would have been without nades. So he goes for the utility option. This gives him a lot more variety in the tactics they can run with this kind of a buy.
LG once again all in with their players, moving in both through Connector along with moving through towards short A here. Ooh, almost catching Elige out in the open as Fur just barrels through that smoke, but Elige able to fall back in time. He's in a safe position on the A bomb site, and he spotted a lot of this pressure coming in. This actually is probably going to be a much faster attempt at a take from LG this time. They're already lined up, they're ready to go. The rotations from Liquid are going to be far behind, and this take happens quickly enough, but Adren, picks up one kill, but Fallen so fast on the trade, able to take him down just after this one. Now Fur finding Elige. All the natural defenders of the bomb site are gone. Nitro's quick enough to rotate back into here, but he's completely flashed. They know where he is. He's fired the warning shot. So now that they've got that bomb down again, it's the perfect plant position. They can fall away and force the members of Team Liquid to be aggressive against them.
These ops on the A side for Liquid have not been paying off. Hiko does find Cold trying to get aggressive. Now they're just going to try and stick defuse the bomb in a smoke, and it's going to work out for him. Simple's got it. The peaks don't come in time for LG, despite the advantages they had. So Liquid does get up towards that 7th round, just basically clawing their way back into that. So they give themselves a little bit of a window here into the second half. But still, a very, very good terror side put together by Luminosity.
Yeah, ultimately, the biggest problem is going to be with such a CT-sided map, Liquid only being able to pick up that many rounds. Now they have to turn the performance around big time. And with Luminosity having that big of a lead going into it here, too, I imagine this would continue on to the CT side, and the setups being that much easier. It got a little bit sloppy, though, if I'm honest, in those past couple of rounds like we saw it there. Liquid, or I should say LG, with their post plants, they had themselves secured. Them were forced out of it there by the good strat from Liquid and just weren't able to recover from that. So maybe some weakness is starting to show here from Luminosity, but now we have to see if the momentum continues for Liquid on this T side, as they're going to start off with the second pistol round right now.
This pistol round is massively important for Liquid, as all pistol rounds tend to be. Hiko's going to go for the Tech 9, but it's not the Raid Boss buy. No armor. Actually, 3 members on the Liquid side don't have armor. They go for a heavy utility pistol round. Simple has smoke, flash, nade. Adren, smoke, flash. Hiko has that nade to work with as well, and all of them going towards the B bomb site. But look at this stack, this play from Luminosity. They might spot this out quickly. Taco and Fallen very, very aggressive towards Monster. Leash gets that first kill. They're going to continue to push, and there's Nitro, but Taco bails out Fallen, and Fallen gets Adren. The bomb is down, and Fur gets 1 headshot. All 3 headshots for LG, and the pistol round has just collapsed.
Hiko still sitting back, armed with that Tech 9, picking up his first kill. This nade's going to roll into, but completely off the mark. Will do basically 0 damage. And now he's going to fall away as FNX, lurking back around, takes out the only other teammate remaining, which was Simple. And actually getting a pretty easy kill to take out Hiko, the final player there. So, good shutdown from LG, and they scavenge a free Tech 9 for their troubles, as they'll keep their lead going strong into the second half, it seems.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous pistol round. That's really nicely done from LG. Just walking through Monster and Taco with the backup on Fallen. It looked like Nitro was going to have the jump on him. Playing at that close angle to the left where he kind of surfed up the side of Monster a little bit. But Taco just bails Fallen out of that spot. So really well done from LG. That aggressive pistol round pays off. Investment, though, from Liquid. They're not going to give it up just yet. They have the upgraded pistols. They have the armor as well. And FNX is going to spot one out coming downstairs. That's going to force everyone to fall back. You can see the immediate response. Fallen was playing pretty aggressive. So that was aggressive posture just to gain the intel of what was coming. And now they can fall back and set up a better defense. Taco, meanwhile, gets the first kill onto Elish.
This is going to allow Cole to go inside a connector instead of the flank, if it's even needed, which it may not. However, Hiko picking up 2 kills back-to-back on Fur and FNX, looking to line up a third now, and he grabs him on the Fallen, but this is where the flank comes in. Can he find the fourth? Finally ends up getting shut down. And Cold will be the one to pick it up and give Luminosity yet another round.
Almost works out for Hiko. If he gets that kill, turns it into a 1-on-1, that's a pretty interesting situation. But 10-7 now, no plant either, so Liquid forced into basically a full save. Maybe pick up a smoke. Simple has some money, and so does Hiko. So they do pick up Tech 9s, the pair of them. No smokes, though. So, I mean, the best thing Liquid can hope for here is a plant. But it doesn't look like they're going to have very much utility, very many tools to actually get it. And it's going to be aggressive from Cold with the MP9. Sprays down 3 very, very quickly. Pulls out the Deagle. Eventually gets traded off. But there's Fur to clean things up. So much damage dealt by Cold that round. Who's had a quiet game. Only 7 kills for him, but doesn't really matter as long as Luminosity looks like they're going to be running away with it. But this is the first gun round. This is where Liquid has to start things out very, very quickly.
It's already behind by a very large margin here. LG, most of their players actually economically are also in a pretty solid position here too, looking at FNX along with Fur specifically. The other guys are down a little bit more, but this should enable for a semi-decent force-up if they would like to go for it, should Liquid claim this first gun round. Also going to see Simple buying up with the op. They were able to afford that and get him armor sitting behind it too, so not too shabby when we consider the buys that we often see coming in on the first gun arm from the terrorists. Cold gets aggressive, back over towards that water position again, but has to fall back because Liquid goes for very, very quick control of the canals. They move in, actually smoking off of Taco and Cold as well, so they're going to get the plant for free before really anyone takes a shot at either team.
Yeah, and Simple has the angle on Fallen, trying to come up into that crow's nest. Boosted over the sandbags, though. Cold's going to find that kill onto Nitro. And now boosted over the wall as well. Fur's going to get one more from long range. So they found ways to whittle down this post-plant defense. Elish does win that battle. He's holding water really, really well. Crucial position to hold, but the HP is starting to run low. Adren gets a kill on a Taco. There goes Elish in water. Fur trying to make this happen. Cold is even looking for the flank from Adren. But Adren's a little bit slow with it. Simple, out-positioned. And now the bomb is smoked off. It's going to go for the defuse. Adren in a 1-on-2. He throws out the Molotov and just gets wrecked by Cold. And actually, that Molotov is going to burn Fur. So that's going to win the round for him. Nicely done. Adren gets a little bit fortunate that smoke was not placed well. So the Molotov works out perfectly.
And Cold, with no other choice, has to fall away. Manages to save the rifle. However, now that he does have this rifle in his arsenal, that's the very large vibe that we're going to see from Luminosity. Only one player is going to be missing a rifle this time. And the immediate potential for Luminosity to strike right back is still very much alive and well here.
Did the smoke miss on the bomb, or did it fade, like, just at the perfect time?
No, it missed. It was like, okay. It was a couple inches to, like, I don't even know if it was meant to go over the bomb. I think it was meant to cover it, like, sort of in front of it. That would be a bold assumption.
But yeah, now you're exactly right. The buy here out of LG is a very scary situation for Liquid. Look at the utility they have as well because they lost so many players. They're running very, very low. Already a minute and a half left in the round, and they're down a lot of nades to work with. No Molotovs either, so they're going to have to win some duels here if they want to make this a reality, and there's a decent setup here from LG. 3 members very aggressive in bathrooms to hold off any push downstairs.
Simple just pushes forward, though, finds FNX. Fallen with the trade as well. You've got First sitting over here in the bathroom connector. Caught throwing out a grenade, so that's going to be Simple just rolling in again to pick up a second frag now as he eliminates Fur. Now the terrorists hold a good amount of control, but also keep in mind you've got Cold sitting back down in connector. He's going to catch a Dren, very low HP. That's an easy frag for him to grab. Immediately smoking it back off as he wants to hold this angle, but that could end up being a dangerous smoke if the members of Liquid decide to go back down through connector. But then there's Fallen chiming in with another op shot to eliminate Hiko, hoping to find some more. Should have just been able to spot a player jumping through, but Simple takes him down. The trade back and forth as Taco eliminates Simple, but Nitro now bringing this down to a 1 versus 1 as he eliminates Taco, and it's all on Cold. Player that's been sitting back inside a connector this entire time. Nitro at the very least wants to be able to escape with the plan, but Cold did see him go onto the site, so he knows the odds he's working up against.
And Nitro knows where he's coming from, knows where he was a little bit ago, and he seems pretty dedicated to the fact that Cole's on a full-blown flank. So there's a little bit of mind games coming out, plenty of nades. Cold still has a smoke and 2 flashes to work with. Bomb is planted at Optimus, and Nitro is in bank. He's going to get smoked off here, though.
Just tossing the flash down below as well to assume if he's there, they would be able to cover him. However, Nitro with nothing to fear. The bomb gets tapped by Cold. Nitro peeking out towards bank. Hasn't made a sound as of yet, though, so Cold's going to be slightly surprised. However, that was all he needed because now Cold has to sit back. He knows he's wrapping back around, tries to get aggressive to pick up the kill, and he's going to do it, but he's not going to have enough time. Has to run away. He may not even survive this explosion. And Liquid, good play from Nitro. He is going to be able to wait that out long enough there, bait out his opponent long enough, and pick up the round for his team.
Yeah, a huge round for Nitro to win for Liquid. Still, though, back down to one player alive to win that round, just Nitro, so the money on the Liquid side, despite winning 2 in a row, is so weak. Now, fortunately, actually, it looks like LG might even buy into this round. At least a scout onto Fallen, some upgraded pistols as well, so small investment, no armor built up. So Luminosity just kind of buying these pistols, try and get a couple more kills, make sure that they can keep the money low, make sure no bank is built up on the Liquid side. But that looks so good for Luminosity for a while there. You could see with the lack of flashbangs and the lack of smokes, how that impacted Liquid in the mid-round. Fallen was able to get some really nice kills because they didn't have any utility to flash him back or force him into a more passive stance. So he was able to have free reign, basically.
Liquid investigating a lot of their pressure inside of connector at this point, but not making any noise to indicate to Cold what's going on. And actually, you can see the boost starting to stack its way up there. Did they actually... I don't know if they saw Cold or not, so he may still be a bit of a mystery. However, at the same time, Cold's just as obscure. They haven't spotted him, or Cold, I should say, has not spotted any of the players from Liquid inside, but with the door opening, they're now going to know what's going on. And no, I don't think they actually spotted Cold, so the way that they're flashing out and whatnot here would indicate it. However, Hiko coming back in there is going to be able to catch him off guard, and that completely kills it regardless, taking him out. And now the rest of Luminosity, their defense is being spread out pretty thin, and most of it's all towards A, so with Liquid pressing their forces towards B, it should be a pretty simple take.
Taco's going to get aggressive here, but it's not going to work out for him. Malige with the UMP drops him. Now all 3 members on the rotate over. Fallen still with the scout, going to try and take a perch high up, but he is smoked off. Won't be able to find very much. It just clears as Nitro makes his way into the site. Simple's going to peek that. A really nice peek. Drops Fallen. And from here, it should be pretty easy. So this investment from Luminosity, the pistols, the scout, doesn't work out. They don't get any kills on the round. So now Liquid has an opportunity to build up a little bit of money. It's a good win from Liquid.
FNX literally has nothing to save, so probably just going to barrel out here, hoping to maybe find a kill. But he's been brutally destroyed, as they found him pretty early on with the amount of noise he was making. Liquid now just one more round behind, tying things up against Luminosity. Luminosity actually with enough money to go for a buy again. The question is, do they want to? And this time it's actually going to be at a position where quite a few of these players could have gone for rifles, but they're going to choose to just upgrade their pistols and buy up for some of them armor behind it instead, so that they can get a full buy going on the next round instead.
Yeah, not a bad decision. Just playing the economy game, making sure that the next gun round they have, they can stabilize. If they were to force buy and lose it, then they get into an awkward money situation where a double save, if they ever want to do it in the future, would actually give Team Liquid a huge advantage in the match. So playing it safe here. There is a stack on the stairwell, and Liquid is taking this very, very... They might assume this is a buy, so they're taking this slow, just trying to see what they can find out. And Elysia is going to be the first one to turn the corner. No nades out for Elysia. Jaren just comes around with a P90. He gets mauled. Elysia's still alive, going for more. He gets one, but 2 kills now for Luminosity. 3 members left. It's a 3-on-4 situation. There's only Fallen over in bathrooms to defend this A bomb site, but with those 2 kills in in the stairwell, Luminosity knows that there's really not too much pressure coming to this B bomb site. They can start falling back.
Fallen as well, if he hears any pressure coming from long A, and he definitely just spotted Nitro crossing, so they're going to know he's there, but Hiko investigating down here as well, just to pay attention to see if Fallen would be trying to aggress on this one.
Look at the rotation now. Luminosity has a perfect read.
So they know what's going on, and not only this too, but I don't think they've actually spotted Fallen as of yet. So with him flanking, you can see someone's paying attention to it, so this probably isn't going to work out that well, but at least throws him off to a certain degree. Hiko shutting down Fallen. Now they're pushing in, but now the rifle comes into play with Fur shutting out Nitro, and they're a little bit spread out here. The bomb goes down on the site itself, but they've got to move in to get back control. Now they're getting aggressive, but Simple holding up close, shuts down Fur. Someone sneaks out though. Taco picking up both of those final kills. Hiko and Simple both go down to him. And Luminosity steal away around from Liquid.
That stairwell aggression from Liquid, that's Jaren and Elysia not using very many nades, no Molotovs on the stairs whatsoever. That 1-for-2 trade that they executed, that Luminosity comes on top of, just pretty much ruined everything, because there was no more map control, there's no presence from Liquid at the B bomb site, so LG was able to just fully rotate everyone over towards A. Gave him so much intel. And actually, that A hit the 3 members took long so slowly that it allowed the LG to get into position. So now a desperate buy out of Liquid. 4 AKs, 1 Tech 9. Very, very light on nades. Only Hiko and Elysia with any kind of smokes whatsoever. Everyone's geared up towards this B bomb site, but there's 4 members here.
Fallen connecting a shot early on in this round as well towards Nitro, so he's already down at 23 HP. Not being able to catch Simple inside of Connector just as of yet as he was peeking outside of it, just as he threw the smoke, but oh, Fallen just barely surviving that random spray coming through the plywood there. He's down at 5 HP, so he's going to want to rotate away from trouble for the time being. They still hear a lot of noise outside of that connector area, but they're falling back inside of it now. And it looks like they may go for a rotation to try and go for the A site take instead.
Slowly coming up the stairs. They have so much space to clear out because they didn't have any pressure here early on in the round. It's just FNX and Fallen with that low HP. Fallen's just holding an angle out towards long. A single nade would just ruin his world. Now you can kind of see their pop flash peeking over towards Monster. Taco peek sees absolutely nothing, so that's going to allow Fur. It's going to give him, the idea. Let's rotate back towards the A bomb site, see what we're going to find over here. Try and have a 3rd member at all the places they don't have any information on.
FNX jumping up and down, trying to see if he can catch the aggression coming in towards bathrooms. Unfortunately, he's chosen to do this at just the wrong time. Now the smoke's barrel in, and Simple catches FNX just as before that smoke blooms. Unfortunately, the situation does not work in the opposite direction. There's 0 response from him. Fallen still alive, even though he's getting up close and personal with some of the members finding a 2nd kill. Fur's down at 4 HP, so he also has to get out of here, but Fallen's ripping these players apart. Cole jumping up on Semi, takes down Adren. Finally, Fur goes down, but Taco moving in, shuts down Hiko. That's a perfect site defense from LG. Now they reclaim their lead quite nicely. To 13-10. We'll have to see just how much money Liquid will have to work with going into this next round.
I'm not sure why Liquid felt the need to be so aggressive. And also, if you're going to try, if Simple's going to jump through a smoke to take out Fallen to try and make that work, Fallen's only got 5 HP and he gets 3 kills on that hit. So just really, really bad trading from Team Liquid, which is generally a hallmark of their style. Trading on the entries into a bomb site. And then they just keep pushing forward without the smokes, without the flashes to blind anyone, and it's just free kills for Fallen. So nice hold from LG. Now Team Liquid with only 10 rounds, they can't invest too much into it. They have Tech 9s, they have a Deagle, 1 smoke, 1 flash, but no armor built up, and they're going to send 4 players up the stairs. LG, they have complete control of short sewers, so they might have a very quick flank on this round.
And as they move up, it's all grouped up here from Team Liquid 2, only leaving a couple players behind to watch out for flanks. Simple most notably to try and catch Taco if he proceeds inside of Connector there. Paying attention to every angle, but except for the site, ironically enough. So as they push their way through short A, they're actually going to get free control. And if all they wanted to gain out of this round was a plant, then they're definitely going to accomplish that goal. As now Nitro moves in, shuts down Fur. They still have to worry about the players coming in towards long A, but they have something to counter this out too, as they've got Simple now lurking back around to try and catch these guys. LG riling back over here, try and take down some of these players from Link before they can get into their post plants. They're going to succeed in doing that as now Taco comes out from Connector. He takes down Adren. Hiko's still safely inside a bathroom, and they're still trading out kills quite nicely as Simple grabs a knife kill onto FNX. Hiko picking up an additional one from Liquid to shut down Cold. And just like that, the defense from LG crumbles. Simple finding that final kill as well. Liquid striking right back keeps this game very, very close.
That entry onto Fur is just heartbreaking for LG. He just gets tapped long range. He just has only his head is showing, and the Tech 9 works out in the favor. So good round for Liquid. That flag from Simple, you're right. That was the insurance policy. The knife is just icing on the cake, but full buy now. So Liquid swings it back into their favor, 11-13, and Fallen has an AWP with no armor. And the rest of his teammates, CZ, 1 M4 onto Taco. So still, I mean, we've seen what these partial buys can do for LG. Liquid's got to be very, very careful, and it's the same stairwell stack that they did in that round they won.
So for LG, trying to hold off Liquid from really bouncing back into this game. By doing so, they have to invest pretty heavily in Fallen. There's going to be a lot of pressure coming onto him in just a few moments. If he continues to peek out over there towards the playground area and the fountain area as well. But so far, nothing peeking out. Can't spot anything. Can definitely hear the flashbangs and whatnot going off. But he hasn't actually caught sight on any of these players, so they're kind of still in the dark as to what exactly the strat is going to be here from Team Liquid, and they even start to get a little bit nervous that it could be a fake being thrown over towards long A. So Cold's going to toss the smoke a little bit early, back down over here. Thrown to try and smoke off Monster, and it works too, because there's a heavy concentration of Liquid now over here. The big question is going to be how exactly do they stop this when it all just explodes out onto this B site in a moment.
And you can see, actually, FNX and Fur still in the stairwell. This is going to be a quick flank. If there's any mounted defense, Cold gets the first kill. Simple trades him off. Now it's up to Taco. He's got the M4, but Adren finds him. Couldn't figure out which way to look. FNX is still there, though. Gets one. So does Fur on this quick flank, and now Fallen's in here with the op. This is getting a little bit dangerous. Hiko and Simple very, very low, but Simple's going to find it with the AWP. Nice job holding Fallen for the repeak. 13-12, Liquid stabilized moving forward. And that buy actually really hurts the economy of LG. Next round is going to be a very, very important round for the defense. And they're virtually out of money. So Liquid, it's looked so unlikely at times, but they've clawed themselves into this match.
Luminosity have also been very aggressive with their economy too, so this is where it's finally starting to bite them back, because now they don't really have a choice. Buying up completely here would be a very, very poor decision, so they're going to have to let Liquid tie the game up and hope that going into that next round, they can try to keep their lead going strong and take a victory from that point forward, because if they continue to bounce these rounds back and forth, they're just going to be worn down. They won't have any money to continue buying through. Liquid is absolutely going to beat them in any type of race about that. And eventually Liquid will just beat them in the fact that they're going to be going up against Ecos more likely than not.
Seems like Luminosity's got a pretty good read on how Liquid is operating their offense at the moment, though. They've had a lot of rounds where these fast flanks are really, really impactful, because you can see even this round, Liquid is very, very grouped up. 4 members went out towards long A right at the start. It's just Hiko watching for a flank. Nice pick from Simple. This time, Adren also falls back to group up with Hiko to watch the flank, while 3 members are very far ahead in the A bomb site. And Adren spotted out FNX coming up the stairs. He does win that battle, but Cold is trying to mount something, trying to find a leash. But it's not working out. He's out of bullets, and now he's eventually just going to get run down by Liquid, and Nitro finds him in the end. So just Taco. Not too much left for him to do, and Hiko, watching the flank, is usually does not get caught off by these plays, but this is a pretty big flank to have to even think about.
Regardless of the round, goes in the favor of Liquid, and there we have it. Hiko shutting down Taco. Fortunately, there was not a whole lot for him to save, so it's not the biggest victory for Hiko, but it takes him down, and he prevents his own death. So keeping the economy going strong for the side of Team Liquid, specifically Simple, now over that 10k margin post-buy. And for LG, this is the full buyout. Not a whole lot of utility. 2 smokes, a couple flashbangs here and there, and a random assortment of other support items. It's going to leave LG very, very weak to just a brawl push from Liquid basically anywhere on this map.
Yeah, there's nothing to really slow down Liquid with whatever they want to do. Molotov comes out just to allow Fallen and Cold to push up towards short sewers, and this is kind of the thing. Fallen, he's going to take a very aggressive stance, and he almost has to without the nades. So he's got a sliver over towards over at short sewers, looking towards long B. Not going to see anything. No one's aggressive here. Hiko's playing very, very far back. Meanwhile, it's Fur and FNX manning down bathrooms. They're going to have to find something. They're also very aggressive, but only 1 smoke, 1 nade, and 1 flashbang left in the arsenal of LG for the rest of this round.
And Fur's going to try to hold off a push towards short A, but I believe Simple's going to move in first as he tries to push in. He'll have to go up against one of the members of LG sitting just on top, and they don't expect him to be walking in at all. Neither has spotted each other as of yet. It's a little bit of an awkward exchange, as now they even go for the peek back inside of the bathroom connector, but still, neither team has managed to spot someone else, and there's Fallen now with that peek back over towards construction. He's been doing that so much. He almost actually gets sprayed down from over, just outside of Monster, too. So again, that's the second time now he's almost been eliminated via spray that's coming through one of the weaker points. Dropped down to 8 HP this time. He'll have to rotate back up towards Heaven, where it's going to be a safer position for him to play from.
Yeah, this one kill from Fallen, though, pushes Liquid back up the stairwell, back towards bathrooms in the A bomb site, where there's 3 members here. FNX, Taco, and Fur all have a triangle of doom set up. Fur looks away at the wrong moment. Hiko does find that kill. Nitro's busted up Taco, so this stack all of a sudden disappears, but they haven't seen FNX. And he's going to push in quickly on the flank. Hiko's got to be a little bit careful. He hears the footsteps, peeks out, loses that battle. And likewise, Nitro can't get away after the plant. So Luminosity pick up their 14th. But with that plant, there should be plenty of money for the Liquid side to buy. Simple's at 11,000 right now.
But nonetheless, Luminosity striking right back now. Finding another round. Like we were talking about before, this keeps their leads going, but as you've just mentioned, now we see a pause. Assumably, this is the tactical pause to come in from Liquid.
No, this is Luminosity's. Guaranteed. Because I think, well, one, Liquid already used theirs. I'm pretty confident.
I thought you get one per half, though.
We're just getting word that it's a lag out anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I would assume, though, if there was going to be a tactical pause, because of how important this round is, with Luminosity just picking one up, they have to be very cautious that they don't get reset here. If they get reset here, that's going to allow Liquid to at least get up towards match point. So it wouldn't surprise me if LG even took a pause, even if it wasn't a lag out.
Now that we're getting a look at the money too, like Liquid, beyond just Simple, we talked about his money. Nitro's also sitting at 10.2k before he buys anything. Everybody can still buy their own rifles this round. Hiko has enough to buy through for another round. So this is still an extremely strong economy. And to be completely honest, we're probably still going to be looking at a full buy from Liquid, with maybe a couple exceptions, like a random Tech 9 or Galil thrown into the mix here or there for the rest of this half. So, like you said, LG, a reset is going to be the worst thing in the world, because Liquid, they have the money to go through this half regardless at this point.
Yeah, no matter the outcome, they're buying every single round from here on out, especially if you add in a plant. Allegiance is the only one who's even dangerously close to being low, and he still has 2k. So, yeah, very, very interesting. They've got to find, Liquid's got to find some way. You could see one kill from Fallen, one kill from the side of the map that they're currently putting pressure on really scares them away, and going back to the other one, where they generally have had no map control, because they're staying very grouped up on one side, just casually watching their flank with 1 or 2 people, but they're not actually exerting any presence. So when they come back, when they fall away from an initial bomb site in that group, they have so much space to clear out. Even that round, they didn't clear. They got 2 kills in bathroom, but they never got FNX. So he was even on a very, very quick flank. So it's very tough to rotate across the map like that, especially when you see the clock starting to dwindle down.
This time, though, the buy from LG is obviously going to be looking a lot better with what they've managed to bring in from the previous round. The bigger problem is that we weren't really seeing a whole lot of utility, so that was basically just their raw skill that allowed them to hold back the members of Liquid in that previous round. Now they've got a lot more, and Liquid is going to have a much harder time actually getting through the barriers and actually getting onto that site and getting the bomb down. However, it's not stopped them before. These rounds have been traded back and forth this entire half so far. And it looks like we are going to be getting on pause right now, so let's get back into it.
So not a lag out, but it did look like the LG house kind of spiked in their ping up towards 100. So just waiting out the storm. But you can see the money on their side. Fur with 750, Taco as well with 700, and then 200 on Fallen, 0 on FNX. This round, if they get reset here, is going to make things very difficult for them. Fallen trying to make this jump out of the flower pot as well, so they have a pretty good long setup.
Simple's also sitting back over, watching to see if anyone from LG will get aggressive to try and peek down towards Monster. Definitely not going to be happening, though. In fact, they're playing it very safe. Taco's already smoked it. Hiko just firing some shots through. Actually gets a response back, so they know the presence is here. However, Liquid now playing very, very passively. They're really hoping somebody from LG tries to push forward, either towards bathrooms, outside of bathrooms, I should say, towards short A, or even pushing out towards long A as well, but this is not happening. Everybody is sticking to their positions. The only really hint of aggression that's coming out from LG at all is this play from FNX over here to place himself just behind the tree.
All 4 coming right at the stack towards long. Fallen misses the initial shot. He does get dropped by Simple. That leaves FNX in a really tough spot. He extinguished the Molotov, but he falls with no kills. So now it's all up to Fur, pushing up into bathrooms, trying to get aggressive. I know there's a lot of numbers out towards long, so he feels like he can make some kind of a play this way. Meanwhile, it's a Dread and Hiko watching the flanks while 3 members push up that long A and clear out bathrooms. But a 5-on-3 for Liquid.
First is going to be a statue here. Unfortunately, doesn't really seem like he's going to be able to catch anything, at least initially. He's going to have to get aggressive and push himself inside of the bathrooms, as that is where Liquid is moving towards. Now he starts to push out. Still has to deal with Hiko, and he's caught completely off angle. Liege, that's an easy kill for him to find. Now Cold responding back, finding a second, but the pressure is still bearing in. There's 2 more to take down, finding one, and the second as he eliminates Hiko and the Liege. Just like that, it's flipped on its head. Now a 2-on-1, Adrenaline, 10 seconds left. Now down on 5 as he's pushing in. They're just playing with him. He finds that 1 kill, but he's out of time. It's going to expire. Taco knows this. He's already halfway across the map at this point, and this round is going to go by the way of Luminosity.
Cold has been quiet this entire match, and he picks that round to have a stellar hold. A 1-on-5 situation at the A bomb site, and he kills 4 of them. That's incredible. So Liquid feeling the pressure a little bit. They had to have had some nades they could have utilized to help clear him out of position. They had so many left, and they didn't use anything. The truck wasn't smoked off, no Molotovs. And Cold just destroys the hopes and dreams of every Liquid fan watching right now.
The problem is, though, okay, if Luminosity manage to shut those round, of course, everything's bygones be bygones because they're going to win the map anyway. However, they only keep 1 player alive at the end of that, so they're still very, very weak in terms of what they actually bring to the table on this round. You just look at it, Cold can't even get a rifle. He's still stuck down on a CZ with no utility left after he's possibly used anything very early on in the round. Liquid, as we were mentioning when it was on pause, still so much. So they're not out of the hot seat just yet.
Yeah, Liquid had 2 Molotovs, 2 smokes, and a nade to use to clear Cold out in that last round. Not able to do anything. He just shuts him down. Beautifully done. And now into a 4-on-4. I mean, this is the difference, though. That round, that heroics from Cold is the difference between Luminosity playing for the win and having to save and hope that they're going to be able to tie things out and force overtime. So they can breathe a little bit easier knowing that they can't outright lose here in regulation. But here comes the hit onto this B bomb site. It's just Taco and Fallen here. Fallen not even peeking, letting him get into the site from Monster. He's just watching for short. He's not going to find anything, though, so this should be a plant for Liquid. Taco's getting aggressive over the top. Fallen finds one. Simple responds out of Taco, though. Down to a 3-on-3.
There might be a player coming around him here in a second, so he's got to be careful from flank. The smokes start to fade. The support's starting to rotate down, but it's going to be very, very slow. Fallen's on his own. Thankfully, no one from Liquid. What a mistake Fallen just made. Tried to go for the jump and is caught midair by Nitro on the peak. Cold trading that back out. He takes down Nitro, and now Fur moving in takes down Simple, followed up by another kill from Cold. So although they lose their teammate, at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter, because Cold and Fur just retake that site with class, and they're going to close out the first map because of that very nice play.
Yeah, I mean, ridiculous. God, what a heroics by Cold there right at the end. That's absolutely crushing. So, a scrappy match. I mean, no one really ever... It felt like Luminosity had like a huge upper hand throughout sections of that match, and Liquid just called themselves right back into it. So, very, very scrappy. Tough that they didn't win it out in the end. They seem to have every advantage there, especially in that second to last round. Cold is just such a monster. But either way, good win there for Luminosity. We're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, same 2 teams. It's going to be the second match of this doubleheader, and it's going to be on Kabul? Yes, Kabul.
Yes, Kabul.
Cool. So we'll see you guys back again very, very soon.